Okay, so I'm sure that many of you a few weeks ago did catch a glimpse of the specs that will be loaded on the upcoming Lenovo Tab P12 Pro tablet when it first popped up on the Google Play console. Well, it looks like as of yesterday, a few other things dropped. So let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, it looks like the Lenovo P12 Pro, which is set to be the successor to last year's Lenovo P11 Pro that we actually reviewed on this channel some months back, has been certified. Well, at least it appeared on the FCC certification website showing some connectivity specs. Well, to be specific, what it showed is that it will be a dual band Wi-Fi capable tablet, meaning essentially it will be supporting 2.4 and also 5 gigahertz. It also will have support for near field communications or NFC. So at this point, my guess is that this thing should be dropping anytime now. Now, when this thing first leaked, tons of people talked about how this would be a good competitor in the Pro segment by Lenovo, and based off of the specs of that leak, you know, we are expecting this guy here, well, at least according to the Google Play console, the specs were looking like a Snapdragon 855, 8 gigs of RAM, so Snapdragon 855 coupled with 8 gigs of RAM, and it should be loaded with Android 11 out of the box. We're going to be looking at an 11.5 inches OLED display with a screen resolution of 1600 by 2560, along with a 90 hertz refresh rate, which is pretty nice to have on a tablet. When you have that high refresh rate on a tablet, it always improves user experience. Anyway, the battery also is expected to be an 8600 milliamps, so 600 more than what you would find on the Galaxy Tab S7. Anyway, this is not a comparison. By the way, if this is your first time visiting, well, welcome to the channel. Of course, I'm certainly hoping that you are enjoying the content so far, and if you are, I truly appreciate that. Please do me a huge favor, hit both the like and the subscribe button. That's a tremendous boost to this channel here, and again, I truly appreciate that. Anyway, so all of this is certainly good news for the tablet market, right? Specifically the Android market, right? Simply because we are getting more more OEM dropping tablets in the Pro segment or the Pro category. So, you know, a lot more people, a lot more companies going against Samsung. When we're looking at what Lenovo is doing here, dropping all of these tablets and the upcoming Xiaomi tablet, right? So the Xiaomi Pad 5 Pro that I actually might pick up that tablet. But anyway, so you have a lot more competition, and it seems to me like these manufacturers are kind of following Samsung's footsteps. And I'm talking in terms of just the variety of devices that they do. We all know that Samsung will try to fill every single category, like the Tab A7 Lite, for example. So a lighter version of a budget tablet. So a budget version of a budget tablet, right? That's just one example. So if we look at what Lenovo did last year, for example, you know, we had the P11 Pro, then we also have a regular P11, then we have a P11 Plus, then we have a Xiaoshin, which is kind of like a P11 Pro, but not for certain market. Then you have a 2021 or a Xiaoshin Pad Pro 2021, which is still another version of a P11, but a very powerful, and it's actually a very powerful tablet. Now, I know I'm digressing here. Snapdragon 870, I believe that's what it is. So that thing is supposed to be powerful. I actually almost picked up that guy here. But anyway, so you have these manufacturers just dropping, trying to cover every single segment of the Pro market, right? Like every single part of the Pro market. So they want to do kind of like the budget Pro market, mid-range Pro market. I don't even know if it makes sense. So it's pretty interesting to see that. It's like they're just flooding the market with all of these tablets. But with all of that being said, even with flooding the market, right, it doesn't mean that they will be taking over the market. It takes a lot of steps to come over here and just replace Samsung, because it goes beyond just the individual tablet itself, right? So it's not about making a tablet that has like all these high specs and all of a sudden it's going to come and just take over the market. You know, if you remember, Samsung actually learned from Apple that it wasn't about making an all-around good tablet. Samsung has been doing that for a while, right? So they've been making very good tablets, but they also know that, you know, it helps keep your consumers within your ecosystem when you turn your ecosystem into something very robust where they don't necessarily need to leave in order to get a separate category of a device, right? So if they have a Samsung phone, you want to make sure that your ecosystem is so solid that when they're looking for a tablet, they don't have to go outside the ecosystem. So you're already making that, they just get one so that, you know, it can ensure a very solid continuity among their devices. So what I'm trying to say is that Lenovo might have to really work even harder at building a solid ecosystem in order to properly compete against Samsung overall, right? So we can take, you know, either one of these tablets and compare, right? We could take, let's say, the Xiaoshen 2021 Pro, Pad Pro, whatever it is. So if we take that and we're going to compare it to like the Galaxy Tab S7, for example, just raw power, you know, obviously the Snapdragon 870 as opposed to a Snapdragon 865 Plus on the Galaxy Tab S7. And sure, you can also compare other stuff, you know, it's 90 Hertz refresh rate on the Xiaoshen as opposed to 120 Hertz on the Tab S7. So you almost see them being almost equal, you know, in some parts, and maybe, you know, Tab S7 being better at other and the Lenovo being better at all. But when you take the experience as a whole, right, you look at the fact that Samsung is supporting these things for up to 3 years, and they might increase as it leaked recently, and you have Lenovo not really supporting, so, you know, software support is pretty shaky with Lenovo. It kind of makes you really realize that it might take a little bit more than just one tablet to, you know, really bring Lenovo to that same level where they're competing at a level where Samsung is very worried that they're going to lose some of their customers. But anyway, I think I went, you know, kind of off tangent there. But what do you think of this? What do you think of this new tablet that Lenovo will be dropping? This Lenovo Tab P12 Pro. You know, sometimes I get lost with these names. You know, what do you think of this tablet, you know, based off the specs, you know, Snapdragon 855, 90 Hertz refresh rate, OLED display, all that good stuff. Do you think it's going to be a good competitor to the Tab S7, to the regular Tab S7, or the Tab S7 Plus, or the Tab S8? What are your thoughts? Now, in my humble opinion, I think this is a good thing, you know, for Lenovo to kind of just push the envelope the way they're doing right now, just keeping Samsung, you know, on its toes so that they don't get comfortable and just think they got the market. I mean, as of now, they got the market for sure, especially the Pro market. Even though we can look at the Xiaoshen Pad Pro 2021 has a higher chipset, that doesn't mean that they took over Samsung. Samsung, you know, obviously we know beyond just the tablet, they offer the whole experience, the whole ecosystem thingy, and the continuity between devices. Those are just priceless for a lot of people. So we know that they have that market. But it's good to see that Lenovo is doing stuff that is going to push the competition up, and what Xiaomi is doing also, right? And I really just might pick up that Xiaomi Pad 5 Pro. The specs look pretty good, and I would love to see what that tablet can do and how it can compete against some of Samsung's tablet. Anyway, you know what? This video is getting too long. I'm going to cut it here. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this news. You know, if you're going to pick up this new Lenovo tablet when it drops, or if you're not going to pick up one, let me know also. Let me know why. I'm going to catch you in that comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. And up until then, of course, as always, stay safe out there.